Alright, so today I'm going to be doing a build description with a small gameplay showcase for what I call the ultimate signature ability build. This is something I've been working on for a while with one of our, our community members, Upper Echelon Eker. There's going to be some links down in the description to some spreadsheets that he's made that show the absolute optimal builds for this setup, the way that this should be run, and there's a lot of different possibilities. This is one of our most complex builds to date, and it functions very well if used in the right hands and the right group composition. So there's a lot to cover. I'm going to go over as much of it as I can. Hopefully I don't leave anything out. But this is a really versatile build with a lot of complex moving parts. So the whole premise is that it revolves around getting your signature ability back as fast as possible and aiming towards 100% uptime on the signature ability of your choice. So the way that this is done is there's a lot of moving pieces. The first and most important piece is the fact that you need skilled on your weapon. Now, whatever weapon you're most comfortable using, in my case, an M1A is what I'm going to be using as a marksman rifle to land headshot kills reliably. You're going to want skilled on that weapon. Now, there's some other talents that pair very nicely with this that I can't actually showcase, but theoretically, you would be able to face tank every single enemy, killing them and extending your signature duration indefinitely, as well as the fact that when it finally did run out, you would just be able to pop it again because you would have easily already, fully recharged the cooldown. So not only is skilled an important one, but you can also get something like, let's see here, I have this, let's scroll up here. I have this M870 with Deadly Vicious, or no, with Trained, Vicious, and Commanding. Commanding is another very good talent to have. Now, what you want, ideally, is skilled and commanding on the same gun, and then you would be able to sacrifice as much stamina as you want to activate both commanding and skilled, even though it's not in the third slot and not free, with electronics and firearms. Now, the problem with that is that you will be squishy, but in the end, trading off and having your survivor link active 100% of the time is going to be a way better way to go, because 80% damage reduction, even if you only have like 50,000 base health, you're still going to be much more tanky than you would be even if you had 150, thousand base health. So commanding is an extremely strong talent to run with this as well, but specifically with a shotgun, I would say. And even then, you're going to have to devote a lot of electronics to activate it. So there's a lot of complex, variations on this build that I have not covered. That theoretically would be way more potent and way more powerful. But what I have is a functional version. Now this, what I do run sometimes is an M1A, and then in the secondary slot, this M870 with commanding. And what I'll do is I'll recharge my signature with my M1A, and I'll show you why I'm able to recharge that so fast in a second. And then I'll switch over to my M870 Express when I pop my survivor link, run up, face tank, and kill all the enemies. That is one viable way to do it as well. I have another gun here. The same kind of functionality works with, a black market AK-74, any type of SMG, anything like that. I have skilled in the third slot here. I don't actually have commanding on this gun, but it's a good PvE gun. So what I can do is I can pop survivor link, get up in their face tank them, kill them, hopefully kill almost enough to fully recharge my signature while the signature is active, and then just pop it again. It's a complex build. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and in someone's hands who's much more skilled on the sticks than I am, it's going to be way more effective. This comes down to the biggest factor is you just have to be able to hit headshots. If you can do that, this build has actually unlimited potential. Now, so I've covered the fact that you need skilled on your main weapon. I'm using an M1A that has skilled. And then after that, there's a few things that you're going to definitely need. Now, I would suggest running 4-piece sentry with this, achieving as high a possible skill power as you can. I have 2-piece Tactician's Authority right here for the bonus 4,000 skill power. And then I have 4-piece Sentry's Call for marking with my M1A. So not only am I just, popping a signature ability very, very quickly, often and multiple times throughout any one fight, I'm actually doing damage as well. So it's not one-dimensional. I'm not useless to my team in other aspects. I can deal a ton of damage really quickly, pop a signature multiple times. Now, the way that I'm able to do this is, the second most important thing after having skilled, I would say, is having signature ability resource gain on your backpack. This is an oftentimes overlooked major attribute. Until now, I really haven't put too much faith into this. So, just to recap, you want skilled on your main gun, and then you want 12% or more if you can get 13 or 14, however high it rolls, signature ability resource gain on your backpack. Those paired together are going to give you a giant chunk of your signature ability back anytime you get a headshot kill anyways. Some people said that there was a bug where if you had a weapon with skilled in your inventory, you would actually, it would function anyway, even if you weren't using that gun. That is incorrect. That is false. what happens is when you get a headshot kill, whether it's through, you know, original programming of the game or however they decided to do it, maybe I think it might be a perk as well, you actually get a portion of your signature skill back. You'll actually hear a sound when you get a headshot kill, and that, you know, lets you know that it's triggered and you've gained a portion of your signature ability back. Once you have all of these different mechanisms increasing that with skilled, with this on your backpack, you're going to get a much larger chunk. So that's the second thing you're going to be using. Then you're going to be using 5 mods. As you can see here, every single mod in my gear is an advanced stamina mod with signature ability resource gain. This is really important. You get an extra 15% if you use 5 mods that have that. Every single piece of gear has this. Now, you don't have to use specifically stamina mods if you're okay with sacrificing more toughness, or you have a better min-max setup in terms of armor, you know, and your gear, and overall you can get more stamina without these. You can use firearms mods or electronics mods with signature ability resource gain, but the most important thing is right there, that 3% sig ability resource gain. Once you have all of those, there's one more, or actually 2 more key things that you're going to be using. The first is, when you look at your abilities, is the ammo cache, okay? So when you're reading up on ammo cache, there's some things that it doesn't actually say. Allies regain their ammo as they reload, and skill cooldown recovery is faster. But what is not written here is that you also get, I think it's between 30 and 40% increased signature ability resource gain. So that's going to stack on top of your already very high sig ability resource gain through skilled, your backpack, and all of your mods to give you even more. Now, on top of that, if you have someone in your squad running Recharger with the smart cover, again, it doesn't say it here, but they get their skill cooldowns decreased. This also applies to signature ability resource gain. So if you're in the smart cover with Recharger mod active, that is going to stack on top of the ammo cache, on top of your mods, on top of the backpack, on top of the weapon talent skilled. So in the end, you're going to gain a massive amount. Now, we've done the math. There's some spreadsheets in the description. If there's at least one. There'll be another one added soon. I haven't actually received that one from our community member yet. But there is one down there to a min-max version, and what this build can do, I cannot actually show you on video, but this build can fully recharge your signature ability in 2 kills. A perfectly formulated version, according to our math, can recharge your full signature ability in 2 kills. Now that's absurd. That means almost 100% uptime. Now if you have a shotgun that has both commanding and skilled on it, and you can get 2 kills to fully recharge your signature ability, that would allow you to run, let's say, 5 pieces of sentry with a shotgun with those talents active. Yes, your firearms would be lower, but that wouldn't matter. You could face tank any number of NPCs practically for the entire duration, just get 2 kills, fully recharge your signature while extending it during that time, and just go through and breeze through any content almost solo. But what this build in the form that I can showcase right now is capable of doing is carrying teams through pretty much any content. Now I'm going to show you a short gameplay clip of when it worked for me. My aim is not the best, okay? So again, the potential in this build is crazy if you have good aim, if you can take full advantage of it. And really, I'm not going to go over all the specifics of all my different gear pieces. This is just all the random sentry stuff that I have that's good. I don't have marksman rifle damage on my gloves. That would be better for the build I'm running. I rolled, you know, armor on my holster, very important there. I'm running 4-piece sentry's call. I'm not going to go over all the specifics, but really quickly, critical hit damage, that's nice as well. You do want some stamina, so I'm well over 3,000, and then 2-piece tack. Now, one thing that's important to note is I am putting this build together before it's fully min-max. I only have 72.96, you know, armor mitigation, so getting that up to 53, 54 is going to be something you definitely want to do. I'm okay with not doing it because I'm using it almost primarily for PvE at this point, and the fact that I can pop my signature all the time definitely outweighs the 2% armor mitigation that I'm missing here. But it's something that you're going to want to do, and a fully perfected version of this build is going to be totally unstoppable. It's going to function in PvP almost just as well. All you have to do is kill 2 NPCs, and they're plentiful in the Dark Zone, and then you'll have a full signature skill again once it's fully perfected. So that's what I'm running, and then in my squad I'll have someone with the Recharger mod, but personally I'm running heal and then ammo cache. And I'll kick it over to some gameplay right now really quickly and talk about how it's functioning in the game itself. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to throw it to some underground gameplay first. I'm going to demonstrate that this build is effective in a variety of circumstances. And I am using the tactical link. Now, something important to note about tac link is that it extends its own duration based on the kills you get anyways. So this is a really easy way. It's basically a built-in version of the commanding talent. So it's one that's very helpful. But if you have commanding on your gun, you know, you can get the exact same style of effect from something like Survivor Link. And since you're going to be recharging your signature so quickly, as you can see right here, I popped it at the beginning of this fight. It just ended right now, and boom, it's fully recharged. I'm ready to go again. I would say mix up the signature that you're using whenever you feel like. If you have, if you're in a group of randoms who die very quickly all the time and you're trying to do harder content, go ahead and try the medical wing signature. You can basically revive them whenever they go down. You don't even have to worry about it. As soon as you see someone has gone down, you just pop that signature, get them right back up, give everyone an overheal, and move on to fighting the content the way you normally would. If you're using a shotgun version of this build, you can pop Survivor Link, just face tank enemies and blast them in the head, get those easy headshot kills. If you have commanding, extend the duration. If you don't, just recharge it the same way. Overall, it's just a really functional build. There are a lot of situations where this functions even better than it normally would. In the Dark Zone, it does work because of the abundance of NPCs. They're everywhere. So all you have to do with a fully min-max version is just get 2 kills. I can't demonstrate that because I haven't got, absolutely perfect rolls on everything, and most likely no one ever will get that. But I am just barely under the amount it takes to get to recharge with 3 kills. I actually need to get 4 kills, which is really unfortunate because it's only a very small sliver of the skill that needs to be recharged, and with just a couple more percentage points, I would be able to fully recharge with 3 kills. That's not quite the case, but it still functions almost as well, and it's a great showcase, and I wanted to put the build out there. I've been hyping it up in my live streams, and I think it delivers. Some people may not, but it does come down to raw player skill and dexterity. If you can put the reticle on the target and get the kills quickly, this build will perform to just the highest possible degree and allow you to excel through any PvE content. As you can see, I've popped it again. That's 3 times over the course of like 1 room in an underground, heroic dungeon. So my teammates were really helpful in producing this content to share. These are some random match-made teammates that I found. They were really nice. They came through with me. We did one with no modifier, so I could just really accurately demonstrate how it functions, and it was a really positive experience. So Dragon's Nest is another one. We're going to show how you can easily clear, all the content here. As you can see, I am not landing the headshot kills. My teammates are. So that's one thing. I would have actually almost fully recharged my signature skill already had I been landing the killing blows on those charging enemies. But that being said, you don't even need to land every single killing blow. All you have to do is land a few. And if you're competing for kills with your teammates, it's best to actually tell them, hey, listen, get an enemy low, let me finish it off. What this is going to do is allow me to have nearly 100% uptime on whichever signature they prefer. I can revive you whenever you want. I can have 100% uptime on our tactical link for massively increased damage, or I can just have, super tank all the time. We can just be popping survivor link and mitigating tons of damage whenever we feel like it. So the build functions really well. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to be doing some min-maxing on this for a long time to come. As you can see, I've just popped tack link again twice during the same encounter of the first portion of Dragon's Nest. And to date, I have not actually seen someone do that. I think this build functions very well, and I haven't encountered anything quite like it yet. I know that conceptually it's been around for a while, but people haven't really put it together, and I'm happy that we've done that now. As you can see, I'm switching over from Survivor Link to Tactical Link, and what this allows me to do, especially in this last portion of Dragon's Nest, whenever we need to go hit those switches, it's really easy for me. Just kill a few enemies, get Survivor Link, pop it, and run up and hit those switches. I can also recharge Survivor Link if I were choosing to do so every time there would be fire, so I can be popping a Survivor Link instead of using the smart cover if for some reason his smart cover is down, and we're just never going to be in danger during this incursion. I can pop, Tactical Link very often. These aren't the strongest enemies in the game. They are 35s. It is heroic, so it is a good showcase that you can shred most content, but there are some super heavies with shields and things like that that are going to make it a little bit harder, and you're going to have to focus fire and call out a lot more consistently so that your teammate can bring them low, and then you can definitely get the headshot kills. So I've popped it a second time. You can just keep popping your signature all the time. If you do this in a group of random players that don't know anything about the build, they'll be really impressed. I guarantee there'll be some, wow, did he just pop it again? Wow. It's something I haven't really encountered, and I think it's really fun. So we're doing our best to bring innovative, different content. There you go. I popped my signature again. Just excelling through the content, dealing massive damage, and despite the fact that I would consider myself a support role in this, I'm still doing a lot of damage. I could easily switch it up, do Survivor Link, do Medical Wing, Survivor Link or Medical Wing signature, any of those, and then, overall it just functions really well. So that's all the gameplay I have. I definitely threw it together. I promised I would get the build out today. That's why there isn't more, but I can promise you it works across all content. It works in the Dark Zone. It works outside the Dark Zone. There are some different versions. You can go with 5-piece sentry instead of having 2-piece tack and 4-piece sentry. You could go with 4-piece tack if you wanted to. One of the magic numbers for skill power is achieving 44,000 skill power, give or take around that number. You'll actually reduce the cooldown on your signature skill by a huge amount. and that already helps. So instead of having 600 seconds, you would have like 300 seconds. You can reduce it by well over half at certain points, and that helps as well. There's a lot of different ways. If you have any tips on how to optimize this build further, please let me know. As far as I know, the math is sound, and if I were to get all of the proper rolls, which I'm looking for actively right now, I could do a much more powerful version of the build. But as it stands, it functions very well. You can carry your team through pretty much any PvE content as long as you have the dexterity to land your headshots, especially with an M1A. If you have a shotgun that has the right talents, you don't even need that much dexterity. You can face tank everything while still killing everything, fairly easily. And in the end, it's just a really strong build. So there it is. That's what I've been working on for a while. That's why there hasn't been as many videos for a couple days. I've been live streaming, had the community event. Big thank you to everyone who joined us for that. And a big thank you to everyone who has supported the channel thus far. There's some links down in the description. I'm not going to talk about them too much. We got the t-shirt link, the Patreon link. There's a lot of great ways to support the channel. So if you like the content, you want to see more of us, you want to see more of what we're doing, and you like the fact that we're expanding outside of the meta and trying to bring you innovative content, then go ahead and support us through those. It means a lot. We appreciate it. We'll throw out you some credits after this. There's an easy way to get featured on our credit reel. That's down on the Patreon link as well. And thank you to everyone who watches. So have a nice day.